Good morning, students of class 10. Welcome back to the online classes. We are doing history now, the age of industrialization, and we have reached 3.1, the age of Indian textiles. So far we have talked about other European countries, about Britain, about their industrialization and so on. Now we'll talk about the Indian textile manufacturing companies. So there are altogether 6 points I've written over here. By 1750s, the network of export controlled by Indian merchants were declining, breaking down. Previously, Indian merchants controlled everything, import, exports, especially exports. Indian textiles were very famous all over the world, especially the muslin cloth manufactured in Machilipatnam in India. Most of the textiles were produced in the villages or in the rural areas. There were no big factories in India at that time. And the trade was controlled by Indian merchants. But by 1750s, the import and export, the trade controlled by Indian merchants was breaking down. Europeans gradually gained power. After that, 1750s, the Europeans gained power. How did they gain power? How did they enter this trade in India? Let us see now the reason. First, securing means getting the permission from the kings, securing a variety of concession and from local courts. Local courts means the kings. Many kings were there in India. They ruled various small parts of India. From local courts, they got concession, they got permission to trade in India. For that reason, the Europeans paid the taxes to the government, to the Indian kings. So, the Indian kings, hoping to earn money, let them do the trade as far as they are paying the money to me. The king thought in this way. They made a mistake by allowing the Europeans to trade over here. There is no problem doing trade. Let them do the trade. They will pay the tax for the trade. So the king thought in this way, and they allowed and gave concession from local courts, then monopoly rights to trade. Then later on, slowly, it was their monopoly right to trade in India. They expanded. European trade expanded gradually, and the Indian traders, Indian merchants were pushed away. The monopoly, Europeans had the monopoly because they paid the taxes to the government, Indian government, those kings, and the Indian traders were pushed aside. This resulted in a decline of old ports. The old ports of Surat and Hooghly, the trade declined from there. This resulted in decline means come down, the export fell, decline of old ports of Surat and Hooghly. Export from these ports fell. The export from these ports fell because the Europeans took over everything. Previously there was no competitor. Now there is a competitor. It was a kind of competition. The Europeans, they came over here. Trade began drying up. There was a reduction in trade by Indian merchants. Trade began drying up, and the local bankers who have invested money, who have given money to the traders to trade, slowly went bankrupt. The local bankers, we have learned about in our previous class, the banker used to go along with the traders to provide money in foreign countries, and even local bankers, they provided money to the merchants to purchase goods, and later on they will repay the loan along with the interest. But as the trade from Indian merchants declined because there was another competitor, European purchased all the goods, very little goods were left for Indian merchants. So naturally they borrowed the money from the local bankers and they could not pay in time. So the local bankers went bankrupt. They had nothing. All the money they supplied it to the traders, merchants, and they could not repay it back. So they had no money, they went bankrupt. So in this way, traders and bankers, they suffered so much because the Europeans have came into the scene. The gross value, you can see that the gross value of export from Surat has come down from rupees 16 millions to 3 millions by 1740s. You see that within this 1740s, during 1740s, the value of export from Surat port in Gujarat, it was 16 million rupees, 16 million at that time. 16 million means a huge amount of money at that time. It has reduced to 3 million. 13 million has gone down. So you can see that from 16 million to 3 million. There was a great reduction in trade, export from Surat by 1740. While Surat and Hooghly decayed, while Surat and Hooghly trade declined in from these ports, Bombay and Calcutta grew. Bombay and Calcutta grew because the Europeans started exporting goods from Calcutta and Bombay. So all the goods were exported from these Calcutta and Bombay, and very little goods were left for for Surat and Hooghly. From there, Indian traders used to trade. This kind of shift, change from Surat and Hooghly to Calcutta and Bombay, the shift, change indicated the growth of colonial power. This shift, this change from old port to new port, trade expanded in new ports, that is in Calcutta and Bombay. The old ports Surat and Hooghly, the trade declined. This shift has indicated the growth of colonial power in India. So now we will talk about further in our next class. This much for today, and thank you for watching the video. Be serious in your studies. Go through online portal every day. While you are watching the videos, increase the volume a little bit and brighten your screen so that you can see clearly all the words and you can hear clearly when you increase the volume, so that you can do it. Because when I increase the volume over here right now, then you can't hear properly. So I made it low over here so that you can increase later on. So that's all. Now you can go through this. I hope you are staying safe. Thank you for watching. We'll meet in the next class. Thank you. This much for today.